Welcome to Swaver's Easy Recipe for everyday people, where we make and remake recipes. Today we're gonna be making deer meat stew, which some people call venison. Yes, it is deer. So in Vermont we have the hunting season, and this is the season in which I make this meat. First we use tomato paste. We have onions in there. We have blended ginger, garlic, onions, and anise seeds, and that's the meat. Is very bloody, so be very careful to wash it very well because you need to reduce the blood. In there we have blended tomatoes, onions, and peppers. First, we put the meat on fire. Then we add the blended mixture to the meat. Then we stir gently to make sure that we have the seasoning inside very well. We add a little bit of salt as well. Don't put too much salt, just put to taste. The meat has a very strong flavor, so it's very important that you season it very well. Leave it to simmer. You don't have to add water to it. The meat has water in it already. If you put too much water, you're not really gonna taste the flavor of the garlic, ginger, and onions. Oh, it smells really good right now. Just cover it a little bit and then let it simmer. Let it do its thing while that is happening. You can keep yourself busy, but this is a recipe I learned in college. It was very helpful as well. So you put your pan on fire, add some oil to it. Make sure the oil is a little bit hot. But in this video, my oil wasn't that hot before I added the meat. But it's very important. Let the oil just be hot before you put the meat, but not too hot. Okay. At this time, I was teaching my 9-year-old how to make the stew as well because she was really interested in what I was doing. So you fry the meat, let it fry, let it become brown. Then you take it out gently and put it on the side. This reminds me of the Bible story of when Isaac told Esau to get him some game. It's amazing what the meat really tastes like. It tastes really good. It has its own flavor that it comes with. In Ghana, we celebrate the Abuachiri festival, if I got it right. And that's when they hunt for deers. And they kind of use it for their festival and their tradition. Here you add some onions after you've taken the meat out. Some people say, why didn't I strain the oil? I like having the flavor of the little meat in there, which is okay because it adds color to my food. Some people don't like it, so yeah, feel free to strain the oil before and we put it on fire before you add the onions. Now I added my tomato paste and just stir gently. Remember, at this time the oil is hot, so you have to be very careful. And especially when you're teaching little ones how to cook, you don't want to discourage them. So it's very important. Let it fry a little bit, but don't let it get burnt. Okay, don't let it get burnt. Then you add your the leftover anise seeds, ginger, garlic, and onions. You add it to the mixture and stir gently. Okay. Then you allow it to do its thing. Give it a minute to simmer, to cook. At this point, don't be in a rush because you want all the flavors to infuse properly into the stew. You add the blended tomatoes, onions, and if I'm not mistaken, did I say pepper? Yeah. You add all that to it and then you stir gently. This is stew. Stew can be very simple and it can be very complicated as well, depending on how you want it done. So right here, I just leave it to do its thing, just to simmer. And I stirred every now and then to make sure that the stew wasn't sticking to the bottom of the pan. But it was perfectly done. It smells really good right now, the flavors. It's making me hungry. Yeah, so you just cover it for a little bit and let it do its thing. Then you open it up. You can still tell it has a little bit of water. You'll be able to tell when the water goes down. I'm going to add the stock from the stew. from the steaming of the meat to the stew, and allow it to do its thing. I'm gonna add a little bit of adobo as well. If you notice, I haven't put salt in the stew at this time because the stock already had some salt, and the adobo is a mixture of many seasonings. God bless the person that invented adobo. So it also comes with salt. So we just put that in and it does its thing. And at this point, you just allow it to cook, okay, for about 10-15 minutes. Then you make sure that the water goes down a little bit before you add your meat, which I just did, and the leftover onions. I sliced some more onions and added to it and then let it cook. So at this point, I'm adding a little bit of black pepper to the stew. Stir it gently and allow it to cook for the next maybe 20 minutes. This is what I call the simmering. You put it on very low heat, not the lowest, but very low. And then just let it simmer. Let it take its time and do its thing, okay? Don't rush it. And I bet you would enjoy. This tea was amazing. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll come back to you, or we'll come back with more recipes. We ate this with rice and stew, parboiled rice, with the game stew. It was so good. The venison stew was amazing. Try it and tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Swaver's Easy Recipes so we can keep making and remaking. Thank you.